And so I really would love to talk to you about today these 3 different tools that I use on a regular basis with myself, my clients, and also with my students in Smart Social Mastery. So we do this for visibility. And these 3 things, if you put them into place into your business, I guarantee you that it is going to make a huge difference in your online visibility, your ability to grab things. Oh, hi there. Hi, Matt. How are you doing? So let me know if you're here. I appreciate you letting me know if you're here so that I can let you know what's going on. So these 3 things and tools that I use on a regular basis, I'm going to share them with you today. I'm going to do it pretty quickly, but in the end of the presentation, I wanted to just say that we will have the option for you to look at a couple of workshops I'm putting on next week, totally free, but they're a little bit more in depth in the sense that after the workshop, you'll have these things completed. So I want to talk about them today so that you understand what they are. And then if you would like to put them into place for your business, I would love to make sure that happens. Awesome. Great. Taking notes. Awesome. Okay, great. I just saw Kath. Oh, yes, Grace. Awesome. Catherine Lang. Hey, it's good to see you. I'm going to do that for you guys. But at the end, I am also going to give you the option to go to our Get Instant Authority workshop page. And on that page, you should be able to sign up for one of the 2 free workshops I'm doing next week. I only do them every so often. Like I think it's been a whole year since I've done one because they do take a lot of time out of my schedule and yours. But what's great about them is you leave out of them having everything that I'm going to talk about today kind of completed, or at least on its way to being completed. So cool. That being said, I'm going to jump right in to the what we're going to go over today so you understand what we're going to be doing. So I have these 3 things that should magically appear. We're going to do the Authority Content Plan and talk about what that is. The Community Connect mapping, and that's a really important part of this process too. And then the 3rd thing is what I call the Authority Accelerator, and it's a 2x2 plan that takes about maybe 15 or 20 minutes a day during like a weekday. You can take the weekends off. It's just a really easy progress to make in this for you. So the first one is the Authority Content Plan. And I'm going to pull up actually the worksheet that we're going to use next week that we're going to be doing, and you can kind of look at it. Of course, you're not going to be able to fill it out, but you can see kind of where I'm going with this and kind of take notes for yourself. Okay. So the worksheet is really all about your planning on when you're going to do your visibility tasks. So we'll have a lot of tasks for you to do when you're done with the workshop, but you need a time and a place and a reason to do your tasks. A lot of times we don't do our visibility work because we don't have a plan. And so this really pulls the plan in. So it starts with the groundwork, which is really around picking your day that you're going to do your promo work. So for example, today is my day. I do Thursday at 9 a.m. this live stream. You pretty much can find me here most weeks. There's a few here and there where I don't, like if I'm on vacation or if there's something major going on. So next week I won't be here at 9 because I'm going to be doing the 2 workshops next week. So if that makes sense, right? So that is what I think could be really good. So you're going to choose your platform. So like, what are you going to be doing? How is your visibility content going to happen? I do this live stream. Are you going to do blog post? Are you going to do short form videos that you release on a weekly basis? So I really say for our sake, especially if you're a consultant or a coach, I'm talking about like once a week, making sure that you are like on something once a week where you're visible to the public. And then you can use that to cut it up into a lot of different smaller things. So you only have to do one original piece of content per week. And if that sounds daunting, don't worry. My next worksheet will help you with that. So that's how that works. And then you choose what I call your outposts. So your primary social media platform and your secondary social media platforms. These are very, very important to pick. So definitely choose where you are going to have these platforms. So for example, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. I'm doing this live stream on LinkedIn, and I also have this going to YouTube. I additionally have it moving over to my Facebook page because I do have a Smart Social Mastery Facebook page, and that it runs there as well. Luckily, I can do that because I use StreamYard, so I can multi-stream across these channels. It doesn't cost me anything extra in terms of time, except for to promote it on those platforms, which it takes a little bit of extra time. So keeping it simple at first is really important. So if you're sending out one thing per week. A newsletter, I was going to say, I have that on the list here, is a thing that you can send out once a week, but you have to get people on your newsletter on the email. So you do have to do something public that isn't behind a paywall or behind an email address so that you can attract people to your email. Okay. So that being said, I just wanted to kind of throw that in case you're thinking newsletter, which is really cool. But unfortunately, your newsletter is the same people unless you grow it, right? So, overarching theme and focus. So, we're going to talk about making an overarching theme and focus for your company and your social media platform so people actually know what you do. And then we're going to be talking about the categories under that theme. This is critically important to your content creation. You have to have these categories in place in order to quickly make content that is strategic to your business and to what you're trying to accomplish. So the idea of just finding a bunch of holidays and pegging all of your content to the holidays is really cool and fun, but it doesn't give you strategic content. You can do that as well. You can do that in addition, but if you do nothing but use these categories, these pillars, or whatever you want to call them, it's really important. Um, that's how easy it is. All right, cool, cool, cool. StreamYard is dead simple. It is dead simple to use, right? So, I love StreamYard. It's pretty straightforward, and I loved it. I've been using it since like basically it launched. I've used it for years now. Adore it. Anyway, so except for it's not giving me my brand stuff over here right now. I'm a little worried about that. I was looking for our the things I wanted to share with you, and they're kind of not in my sidebar right now. I don't know. Sometimes it does weird things too, so you never know. But I do like it for making it dead simple to get stuff up. All right, great. So that's your basically pillars that you put together. So you have an overarching thing you talk about. I talk about social media and how it marries with business. Like, how do you use social media to raise your visibility for your business growth? That is what I talk about. And then underneath that, I usually talk about four things. I usually talk about content creation, strategy, connecting with other people, and finally, a calibration and mindset. So, like, how do you go to the next level? How do you level up? That kind of stuff. So those are the four categories for me. What are yours? Definitely, if you're here, type them in the comments. I would love to know what your categories would be for what you would be talking about. Think about that and type them in. Love to see them. Anyway, so as we go along, at the bottom of this, we talk about brainstorming your content headlines. So then we take each of your categories, we put them in category one, put your one category here, and then quickly brainstorm 5 headlines. Also, and additionally, you could also use AI to do this to help you out. So they talk about, and could you tell me the 5 most asked questions about this topic? And AI could spit back to you those 5 topics. We will bring that into the workshop next week to kind of move things along and make it quicker for everyone. But you can do this yourself with a brainstorm very fast. I think last year we did not have AI, and that group came through this entire exercise in about 20 minutes. We got 5 pieces of content for each level in 20 minutes, for each category in 20 minutes. Crazy stuff, because each one of those pieces of content is 1 week. Remember what I told you, 1 piece of content a week, times 5, times however many categories you have. And you see how suddenly you have tons of content to work from, right? Cool. Yes. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Catherine. I just determined this last weekend: aspiration, stewardship, transformation. Oh, and you said stewardship again. That's okay. Stewardship. That's awesome. So this will help you to go a little deeper, because you could say, what do you mean by aspiration? What are the 5 things that you would tell me if I said, hey, I need to like have better aspirate. I need to like aspire to things better. I need to know what I'm going to next. I need to set my goals. Like, what does that mean? Aspiration. And give me those 5 things that aspiration would happen. Thank you for being my my workshop person today. I think that's really important for people to hear, because you need to look at that. So, and fellowship is your 4th one. Okay, cool. So you take that aspiration one and you come up with 5 headlines that are going to talk about aspiration and how you're going to get that across. And then the same thing you would do for stewardship. Like, what does that mean? Stewardship in what way? For whom? And your audience matters too, right? So stewardship for people in a church is a whole lot different than stewardship for people that have a business, right? So you have to you have to be very clear about what you're talking about. So I love this so, so much. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So then you write these out underneath that, and you instantly have that. So I used to do this. How this came to be, this entire way of looking at this was a couple of years back. I was doing a podcast with Ellen Sklar, and we have it's called Communications Overtones, and we were doing this. I'm not, that was actually my blog. I'm sorry. It was called Communities That Convert. And so our Communities That Convert podcast needed content constantly. We were recording a new episode every week, and we needed new content. So we would sit down once a quarter, and we would run this exercise based on the things that we talked about in our podcast. And then we had all of our content ideas mapped out for an entire quarter, because we didn't have time really to work on it week to week. And we took each one of those, and we'd meet like every month, like once a month, and we would flesh them out. So you can take these ideas, these headlines, and then again, flesh them out. And with AI, it's been really helpful for brainstorming. So like if you have like a specific idea that you're going to do, you can have AI help you come up with other ideas of like what people really want to know. I usually ask AI those questions. And by the way, I like Bard for that, because Bard is using Google search data. So I often will ask it, what are the 5 things people most ask about any topic? I usually ask that every single time I'm doing something, because I think I know what I want to tell you, but maybe there's some things out there I haven't thought of. And sometimes it jogs my memory too. I'm like, oh yeah, of course, that's really important. Or no, I would never talk about this. So I'm saying, using AI very judiciously and carefully is not a bad thing. The other thing that we're going to do tomorrow, just so you know, is that I run Social Media Breakfast of Houston with my friend Jennifer Tejada, and we are going to be talking about AI tomorrow and how to use it in a human-centric way. So tomorrow morning, if you're into this, at 8:30 a.m., we're going to be here again talking about AI. Or if you're in Houston, you can come join us live. So this is a really fun event that I run every month, and we do it live with people in the room as well as live streaming it for you. So would love to have you there for that tomorrow, if you're interested in the deeper parts of AI. Okay, so that being said, that's the first step, is really having that blueprint for content, right? So that's the first thing that you want to do, is run that particular thing. So let me actually pull this up. The second thing, so that's your authority content plan. So that's really understanding what you're going to do. And then you want to do your community connect mapping. And your community connect mapping is also just as important, if not more important, than the content. So you can have a ton of content and have nobody like listening to it. So it's really important for you to have a list of people that you are going to be interacting with. So let me really quickly see if I can't find it. There it is. Okay, great. I'm going to share my screen with you again. So this is the other worksheet that I will give you next week at the Instant Authority workshop if you come. But here you get the gist of it. I'll actually be giving these worksheets out to anybody who comes to getinstantauthority.com and signs up for one of those 2 workshops next week. But this right here, it seems very basic, but what we would do here is we would go through and we would list out the people that we want to be connecting with in social media. So right now I say list 20 people. So right now I say like current and past clients, people who refer you to others. I mean, there's a lot of people that have referred me to other people, like they consistently do. Any thought leaders personally. And then I forgot to put this in here, and I'm going to put it in right now as we talk, because my coworker Tracy told me that it was hard for her to think of this way, but for her it was easy to think of, who do you want to promote? Is there somebody out in the world that you love their content, that you love what they do? You would add them to this list. So people you want to promote. The reason I say that is because part of what you're going to do is you're going to visit these people on a regular basis, the third part of this step. So this is the connection list. And, it is not exclusive to this list. Obviously, there's more than 20 people that you interact with on the daily, but these are intentional people that you want to interact with and really make sure that you guys are connecting on a regular basis. And I'm going to give you a plan in just about 2 minutes for how to get that done on a daily basis and make sure that this is thrown in. But sometimes you forget too, like you forget about who you should be connecting with. Have you ever been in a situation where you see a friend or you talk to a friend and you're like, man, I wish we would keep in better touch? That's what I mean by this. This is making sure that that doesn't happen. Also, you want to make sure that you're keeping up with clients and people that you do know already, because sometimes we don't do that. And what ends up happening is that things go by and we don't, it makes it seem like we aren't caring about the people we already have connections with, right? So it doesn't even have to be aspirational people. It could be people that you don't know yet that you want to know, but it could also be people that you do know and you want to make sure that you are giving them a bunch of stuff. Yes, there you go, Tracy. I'm talking about you. See, I just added it. Tracy, thank you. That's who I'm talking about. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, Tracy, for that point of view. I love sharing it here too with everyone. And then the third thing that we're going to be talking about at the Instant Authority, Get Instant Authority work. I can't say it. Get Instant Authority work session next week is we're going to be talking about the third thing, which is the 2x2. I call it the Authority Accelerator. And I don't have a slide for you for that right now. I will have that then. But the basic thing is it's very simple. You do it 20 minutes a day and you do two things. Number one, you share content, yours or somebody else's, and make it engaging. Try to be very engaging in the way that you do it, sharing content. The other thing is leaving comments on other people's content, leaving comments that are very in-depth, very amazing, that show that you understand what they told you about, and that you digested it, and then you brought it out. I'll tell you the one thing for a content creator or anybody who puts out a post is that the scariest part about it is that there's going to be crickets, that there's going to be nobody there and nobody listening and nobody, being there for you while you're putting yourself out there. So there's a little bit of fear, I would say, with most content creators. And you can actually alleviate that. And it makes you kind of special to the people that you are interacting with. So you can get seen and known by very big influencers by being interactive in more than just like great job or haha funny, or some way that is deeper, that has a little bit more thought into it. I just did something on Twitter just a few minutes ago, Twitter X, that I saw come by my feed. And there was a woman who was talking about how she couldn't believe it that this one business had put up this ad trying to get people to work for them for free as a volunteer, and they're a for-profit business. It happens a lot with people that say they want an intern and they want them to work for free. And there was a huge bunch of people that jumped on that and were very upset about it. In many ways thought, oh, that's terrible. Ha, no way, never would. But I went in and I saw it and I said, yeah, and this is really bad. And in fact, they're going to get in trouble with the US Department of Labor because there's this law against it, right? So then I linked that law and I tagged the US Department of Labor. That's just one step further. You can take something, right? You can take it and then add to it, add something valuable that people can get from it. So there you go. Yeah, I missed the bird too, Catherine. This was my favorite. I mean, Twitter was my favorite channel. So I'm a little, it still exists-ish. So there you are. Yeah. So sometimes I go in there still and I hope, I'm like, can it be still a good place? I don't know. We'll see. But that is absolutely what we do. So I call it the 2x2. I will go into more depth during the workshop next week, exactly about how that goes. But the 2x2 is like magical. Like if you do the 2x2 on a regular basis, it's incredible how many people you can meet, how many leads that you can drive without even trying, where people just remember you, remember what you do, and reach out to you and say, hey, I was thinking about you because I needed somebody to help me with aspiration. I was thinking about you, Catherine. So you can definitely see that that's going to work amazingly for you. And it's happened to me over and over and over again. I had somebody reach out to me. This was probably the most amazing, like mind-blowing ones recently. So I had a friend of mine from when I was in my 20s, and I am in my 50s, okay? So I was in my 20s and we used to go to a group together, and I knew her. And yeah, and I moved away from the DC area. I moved all the way here to Texas, where I live now in Houston. And yeah, I didn't really keep in touch like with all the people in that group. A couple of weeks ago, she reached out to me and she said, I work now for a company, and I'm not going to tell you who, a nonprofit. And I am really looking to do some social listening stuff, blah, blah, blah. And, I was thinking about who did I know that really understood that. And I instantly thought about you. And I was like, we have not talked, and I'm not lying, in 22 years. I didn't even know she was watching me. I know we are connected on LinkedIn, so she sees some of this. So hi, if you're out there, if you see this. But I didn't know that she was watching or that she was paying attention at all. And she has been. And whenever she needed something that I can do, she reached out. So you never know how long it'll be. Hopefully not 22 years, but there's a thing that happens when you're out there and you're putting yourself out there and you're making things happen. And people watch and they want to make it known. They want to do that. So and they'll think about you. But if you're not doing it, they may not think about you. So let me show you this slideshow closer. So this is the Get Instant Authority workshop. So just go to getinstantauthority.com and sign up for one of the workshops next week. I would love to see you there and help you through to build all these assets I just told you about. We're going to take 2 hours out. I know it's a long piece of time, but it's 2 hours for your business, and it's done. Like, it's done after that for an entire quarter. You'll be done. You don't have to come back to it as much. And I think that's going to be really helpful to you. So hopefully you will do that. So tell me if you think that that's something you would love in the comments, and go to getinstantauthority.com. Again, it's totally free. So I don't see why you wouldn't do it. Totally free to you. Please go do it. And I love spending the time with business owners and pulling that together, especially if you're a coach or a consultant. This is really good for you because that's kind of where my sweet spot is. That's who I work with all the time. I have a Smart Social Mastery program, which is a membership program that is paid. And so we will offer that to you at the end of this. It's not hard sales. Believe me, I'm not a hard salesperson under any circumstance. So we would love to have you there, even if that's not your jam. Come and get this work done. Take some time out for you and your business instead of just always helping other people, always doing things for other people. Do that, because I think that that's going to make a huge difference in your business and who you are. Okay, great. So and how you feel about yourself, because that's the other part, right? Too, is we tend to do all these things for others, and then we don't do it for ourselves, and then we feel guilty, and then we feel guilty about it. And I don't want you to have to feel guilty about that. I also want to bring up my friend Russ Johns. I'm a little thing to show you. He sends out this really cool kindness tweet, I call it tweet, a text single day, and I'm like going dead. Okay, hold on a second. My kindness thing for today, I don't know if I can. Hallelujah. Back. I see myself again. I don't know if you lost me, but I lost me. So the kindness tweet that he had today, and I may have to look at it here, and maybe I can share it for here anyway, because I am capable of doing that. So the kindness tweet today, or text today, was really powerful, and it was from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says, "Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway." Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. So if you're worried about people being critical of you for being, online or whatever, or because of what you're doing, or, oh, you're offering things for people for money, or whatever it is that you're afraid of when it comes to your visibility online, this is the thing. Whatever you have something that in your brain and in your person that is there to help others, right? You can help other people with what you know, but I can't be helped by you unless I know what you do. I can't be helped by you unless I know you and I know what you have to offer. And unless you get on and make mistakes and work through that, I don't really know what else to tell you. So, in the end of the day, you have to take that on for yourself. You have to say, you know what? I don't care what they think. I'm going to go out and I'm going to help the people who do care. And the people that don't, and the people who will criticize you, those voices in your head, even your self-criticism, right? Your voices in your own head, you need to quiet those down and make a plan, make a really credible plan. And then if you fall off the plan horse, because I fall off it all the time, there's weeks I don't do anything. And then I'm like, okay, let's get back to it. It's not the end of the world. It works even if you quit for a week. So it's like a diet, right? You can't just go off the diet and never get back on it. You have to just get on it the next day. So let me give you a plan that's going to work for your business. Hey, Pa. Hey, Paul, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Yes, I know. I'm doing a lot of AI stuff too. So, Paul, I'm actually speaking at PRSA Icon on this topic on AI. I would love to have a conversation with you about that. Anyway, so we're going to use AI in the Get Instant Authority workshop next week. Just we're gonna for the people who are comfortable with it. But yes, I think that we as marketers, as PR people, as communicators, we need to understand AI and how it works. And so, yes, that's part of it too. So let's get together next week. I hope all of you do join me and let's get instant authority. Okay, I'm going to pull that up for you. Let's get instant authority by getting our plan in place and understanding exactly what we're going to be doing for the next quarter. So I have 2 workshop times. They're next I think it's Wednesday and Friday. Yes, next Wednesday and Friday. They start at 11 Central and go till, yeah, it's 11 and 2. I don't even have the times on there. But if you go to getinstantauthority.com, you'll see it. Actually, we can go to the website real quick. I can do that with us. And here's the website. So yes, here it is. So Get Instant Authority, and there's 2 times that you can choose to come. It's free, like I said. It's 11 to 1 Wednesday and 11 to 1 Friday. And that's Central Time. So that would be noon to 2 Eastern, noon to 2 Eastern on Friday. Anyway, the point is it's 2 hours that you set aside to get these assets into your business. These 3 assets that are really critical. And the 3 assets, which we've gone over today, are the Authority Content Plan, which gets you about 90 days worth of content ideas ready to go that you can feed into an AI if you need to. You can do whatever you need to do, but they're there ready to go. So you don't have to think about it because there's cognitive dissonance when you have to think, and you only have a certain amount of brain power every day too. So as you're working through client work, if you do that kind of thing or whatever else you do, your family, deciding what to wear, what to eat, how to eat it, all that stuff will wipe out your ability to be great at creating content. So that's the number one, is that plan, is having that content plan in place. And then the community mapping, which is having that list of people that you are intentional about connecting with on a regular basis. And then the third part is what I call the Authority Accelerator, which is basically a 20-minute a day program where you go out and you intentionally connect, interact, engage with other people. It's really simple, guys. It's so simple to do these things. You just got to go to getinstantauthority.com and sign up for this workshop. Again, it's been a year since I put it all out. There's a bunch of testimonials on the webpage that you can read that people have said what they've gotten out of the program. So if you could do that, that'd be great. I hope you'll join me. If you have any other questions, definitely put them into the chat, but I'm going to jump now and let you guys get on with your day. Thank you so much for being here, Paul and Catherine and Tracy and everybody else that was here and kind of lurking. I'm fine with that too. Matt as well, Matt Bird. And thank you so much for being here. Hopefully this has helped you a lot as far as thinking about what you're going to do next. I would love it if you put into the comments your ideas for what you're going to do next. Do you have something in mind? I love it. Like, what's going to be your first visibility thing that you're going to take on in the next week. So let me know if it's coming to the Get Instant Authority workshop or is it going to be doing something else. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you next time.